Good morning, Tom. Corrine, you're on the air, sir.
Hello, Paddy.
How are you this morning?
Fine. Yourself?
Good man. I'm doing great, thank you.
You're managing to get through the winter?
Well, I'm just scraping by.
Yeah. But anyway, the northeasterly wind is a devil.
That it is.
That cold wind even in July.
Well, it's enough to skin you here in town today, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Out here, I had to grab the old park. I went out for this morning to go somewhere, and I doubled back, and not very often I'll double back. And I took off the windbreaker and put on the parka. And not very often. But anyway,
Okay.
I was listening to you quite often over the past while there, and there's talk about disaffection, of course, in Labrador, and the most serious part of it is separation.
Yep.
And it is a serious matter. But I want to know, and I can't get to find out anywhere, what is the constitutional means anybody would use to separate, or any region of the province, if you want to use that word, would use to separate from the province?
Yeah, I mean, there's mechanisms available where they can have referendums on self-governance, but then it requires the province and the federal government to acknowledge the results. So
they could have a referendum every single day of the year.
You're right,
and it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They look at it and say, "Oh, very well, go on about your business. That's nice, But what is it, And it is a serious matter to be talking about it. And there is no way out. There's only in, if anybody wants to avail of that, into the province. If you think you're being disaffected, if you think your region is being shortchanged, Miss Jones was on there this morning. If you will, fight for it. Right? If you think you're only getting 12% back, $1 on every 8 that you're producing, maybe there's other parts of this province that are doing the same thing. I don't know, but it is a serious matter to be putting this out there. By the sound of her, she hauled a number out of thin air.
Well, she's unable to document it, and that's an important part of the conversation, which I said to her live on the air, is we do need to have firm numbers to refer to, and it's got to be a per capita investment in what the returns are and what the benefits are to the people of Labrador. I think that's an important part of it, no doubt.
Yes, but also people in Labrador should realize that there is no way out, not constitutionally. There is no way, not within the Canadian Constitution or the province's Constitution. There's no way out. You're stuck with us. We're together. Although God, in His wisdom, if I may say so, for whatever reason, decided that He was going to put a body of water between us and Labrador. For whatever reason it may be there. But there is no way out. I also noticed Miss Jones there this morning when she was adding up different royalties and that. There are very few royalties coming out of Labrador City. Very few. I mean, what you'd pay for a tandem load of topsoil here, it'd probably be a day's worth of royalties out of iron ore in Labrador. That's only a couple of $100, right?
The return from Labrador so far as royalties from natural resources is real, and it's meaningful, and there's no doubt about it. We can't dispute it. And the adjacency that they fall back on to justify why they feel hard done by, there's something to the conversation, but currently we have a lot of emotion and symbolism attached, so we need to get some dollars and cents so that we can talk about not only what the reality of life is, but that conversation also has to include the downside and the dark side of self-governance and or separation, because it's not all, wow, we're in control of our own future all of a sudden. There is a lot of hurdles and pitfalls that go with that, and so that needs to be part of it as well, and currently it hasn't been part of the conversation. Oh, yeah, well, okay, there's quite a few politicians out of there. We have, Labrador has 4 for 30,000 population, and most other places, on the island, it averages out to about 1 per 10,000, so they're doing a bit better there. Miss Jones and Buddy before, what was his name? They have themselves styled as the MP for Labrador, which is incorrect. Well, they are, as if that was a territory. That is incorrect. It is perhaps MP from Labrador
comma, NL. You know, like St. John's West, Newfoundland and Labrador. There has to be perhaps something else put in there.
Yeah, I don't know. So what's wrong with the way they classify themselves? They are indeed the member of Parliament for Labrador.
It seems to be that as the MP, she only represents Labrador. Do you recall the other fella there before her, where he apparently withheld support or something until he got some funding, and that he represented Labrador? I believe as an MP, they represent the whole province, don't they?
Well, yeah. You're representing whoever you're elected for, but then you're right. When you're a member of Parliament, you're representing a certain region, but you're representing the best interests of the country is how it's supposed to be done, except we're also regionally associated. That people don't do that in the House of Commons. They represent their own niche need. They all attempt to have the pork barrel suit them and their next opportunity to be re-elected, but they're supposed to make decisions based on the best interests of the people of the country.
Yeah, okay.
I think.
Yeah, but anyway, it seems to be that this is put in there, unfavourable to the province, you know.
Yeah, well,
Labrador kind of stand as its own as an MP, and they do not. Mm-hmm. You know, they are part of the 7 in the terms of union that are part of this province.
Well, it's there's something to what you're saying there for sure. We spend an awful lot of time talking about the divisive things, whether it be the Townie versus Bayman or the Island versus Labrador. I don't think that's helped anybody on either side of those arguments, but that's what we're going to have to contend with, and I think it's real. Whether or not it has any opportunity to be actualized or for people to be self-governing in Labrador or in rural Newfoundland, I don't know what the mechanisms are. I do know if you do indeed have referendums taken, there are opportunities for the federal government to recognize results, but it doesn't mean that there's an application to fill out where automatically it's heard. So I think that's true what you're saying on that front, Tom. Anything else quick before I go to the break?
Yeah, okay. But another thing about Labrador. Sometime in September, there was a court proceeding started between CFLCO and Hydro-Quebec in Quebec court. That was in September. I've been watching the news, watching the papers and the rest. Nothing on it since. Have you heard anything?
Nothing.
Not a word on it, eh?
No.
Oh. Let's go look around. You got more clout than I do.
Well, let's see what kind of clout I got. I'm always happy to have a look, Tom. Good talking to you.
Okay, talk to you later.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. This time go for break. So I'm told now there are set in stone mechanisms for self-governance and separation. I don't know what they are. I do know the federal government has the opportunity to look at these types of things independently. Now, whether that means there's some there's a pathway set forward for it, I don't know what it is. If you do, you can let me know too. I'd be happy with that.